Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl lylliansymone. So as you see by the title of the video, I am going to be basically just speaking about the subject of transitioning from a student nurse to a registered nurse, and also my first year in nursing. So y'all, this video is literally about to be off the dome. I don't have no kind of template. I ain't playing nothing out. I'm literally just about to be talking. So the kind of nurse I am right now, I'm currently a ICU critical care nurse. I just actually got another job, so I'll still be an ICU critical care nurse, but then I'm also going to be a step down nurse working in a pulmonary step down unit for patients that like can't get off of the ventilator. So still a little critical, but those patients will be a little more stable. So I have two jobs at this point. So step down, that's about to be a little more experience that I am going to gain, but I've already had the critical care experience. I've been working there. It'll be 3 years in June. It's currently January now. Once June comes around, it'll be 3 years that I've been a critical care RN, which is crazy. Like, what? Oh my goodness. All right, I had to get comfortable because I was sitting on my feet and I ain't like that. But anyways, so honestly and truly, transitioning from a student nurse to a registered nurse was all a blur. Like, it was such a blur. Such a freaking blur. Like, I remember having to do unit orientation for about 6 to 8 weeks, I want to say, with a different RN. And basically, you're just... It depends on the hospital, of course. The way my hospital did it, I would have a couple of different RNs that I would be with each week. I would follow them, pass meds with them, see how they did stuff. So basically, during that entire time, I was really just learning like the flow of things, learning where things were, learning how to work the system, how to put in medications, how to put in orders, things like that. And then once I finally got out on my own, that's when like the real stuff hit, because it's like, okay, I'm not following nobody. Like, I'm the nurse. Like, Lillian is the nurse. If the patient needs something, like, they're coming to me. And so, like I said, it really was all a blur. I'm not gonna say it was easy. It was definitely hard. I definitely had imposter syndrome because I felt like I'm not supposed to be here. Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Like, is this for real? So it definitely felt like I say, I definitely felt like I did not fit in because it was something new. I've never been a nurse before, and so it's like this entire time I've just been a student and I've been learning, and now it's time to put on my big girl panties, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. So it was frightening. It definitely was, because like I said, it's something new, and you're a nurse. Somebody's life is in your hands, and so it's just like, you want to make sure you're doing every single little thing right. You want to make sure you're in your A game. Like, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. It's definitely overwhelming. I guess I could try and give y'all some tips. Really, while you're in orientation, learn as much as you can. Like, go to work every day as if you are the nurse while you're on orientation. Like, just like I said, learn as much as you can. Soak it all in. See how different nurses do different things. And don't try to do your stuff exactly how another nurse does. Like, the way, because every nurse has a different flow. Every nurse has a different kind of way that they do things. Like me, typically I go into work, get a report on my patient. As soon as I get report, wipe down my desk, log in, I look at their labs, I look at any labs I would have to get for the day, and I look at medications. Then I go in and assess my patients. Other nurses are different. Some nurses, as soon as they get a report, they go in, assess their patient, then they sit down, look through the chart. So it's different. And don't try to, like I said, don't try to do something exactly how another nurse does it, because you need to get into your own groove of things. Like, you need to find your own way of doing things, because if you're going to work and you're trying to do what Sarah does, then it's like you're in the back of your head like, okay, then she does this, then she does. No, you need to make your own flow, because at that point, once you do that, things will flow a lot better. Like, you won't just be thinking like, oh, okay, now what do I do? Like, no, you need to make your own flow for when you go into work. So that's another thing. Just try and make your own flow, and just learn as much as you can in orientation, because once you're on your own, you'll still have help of coworkers, but you will still be responsible for your patients. And so, like I said, learn as much as you can. As far as imposter syndrome, I'm not going to say everybody goes through it. I know I did, and I know it's other nurses that went through the same thing as well. As far as that, you just got to sit down and tell yourself, this is where I'm supposed to be. I put in the work for this. I deserve this. This is where I'm supposed to be. If not me, who else? Did nobody else put in all this work? You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, you just have to tell yourself, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So just get over that bump in the road. For me, it took a while, so it may take a while for you. Like I said, you may not even deal with it. Some people know, like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be, period. But me, and plus, I started off in the ICU. Typically, like, I know back in the day, they wanted nurses to start off in med surge. Like you couldn't start off in ICU. That was something you could not do. But nowadays, they let you. And some people feel like you need the med surge foundation, but I didn't have it, and I am thriving in the ICU. But I definitely feel like it would have helped. I mean, I was an LPN before, and I worked at different nursing homes, so I had a little experience, but I didn't have any kind of hospital experience. And so it really, honestly and truly, I didn't get comfortable with working in the ICU. It took me about a year and a half, roughly, to just get comfortable. Like, it took me a while. Like, it definitely took me a while. So maybe if I did have that med surge experience before, I probably would have felt more comfortable a little sooner. But like I said, I didn't have that experience, and I'm thriving. So really, whatever specialty you want to go into, go for it. Like, if you don't want to do med surge, don't start off in med surge. If you do want to do med surge, then great. Med surge, the only thing I don't like about med surge is the ratios. But if you go to a great hospital that has great ratios, then cool. But some hospitals, they give you like 7, 8 patients. That is insane. That is insane, especially in a hospital setting. That's crazy. Because if you're sick enough to be admitted to a hospital, you should not be gathered with 7 other people to one nurse. Like, that's crazy to me. So that's really the main thing that I don't like about med surge. I floated to med surge a couple of times before, and I've told my nurse manager, like, look, I'm only taking 4 patients. Like, I'll split a team with somebody, but I'm not that, because my main priority is giving the patient the best care they can get. And if I have 8 patients, I'm stressed out, I'm unorganized, I'm all over the place, I'm forgetting stuff, I'm missing stuff. That's not the best care. And so anytime I do float to med surge, like I said, it's been fine because I only take 4 patients. But like I said, that's really the only thing with med surge, like the ratios. But anyways, back to the student nurse to registered nurse. Yeah, like I said, it was definitely a task. But once you switch over, I mean, hey, you're there now. It ain't like you're gonna fall back into the student nurse role. Like, once you go from SN to RN, baby, you're in there. You're in there. So as far as my first year of nursing, like I said, the entire time I was uncomfortable because I was in an ICU setting. Like, some stuff I was comfortable with, don't get me wrong, but I always had that feeling going into work, like, oh my God, what kind of patient am I gonna have today? What kind of patient? I'm nervous. What am I walking into? And like I said, that feeling did not go away till like a year and a half after I started. Like, that's crazy. But my first year as a nurse was great. Like, that year I learned so much. You don't learn everything in school. You don't learn everything from your textbooks, because when you're in school, they don't just teach you specific specialties. Like, you just kind of go over a little of every specialty. Like, they don't just go into depth. So like, my first year, I learned a lot. Like, I learned a lot. That's, for the most part, that is when I was molded into a ICU nurse. Like, I learned so much stuff. Like, every single day. And even now, going to work, it's not every single day that I learn something new, but I'm still learning new stuff. But when I first started, like, every single day, learning something new, and I loved it. Like, it just made me feel like, wow, like, nursing knowledge is just, it's so broad, it's so vast. Like, it's so much that you can know. Like, it's so many ways you can save somebody's life. Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy to me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I wish I could have told y'all more, but like I said, it was a blur. Like, I just did it. I just transitioned. I didn't have a choice. Like, I just did it. I didn't do any kind of residency program either. I know some hospitals do offer that. They offer the residency programs, and honestly, I feel like that is great. Like, if my hospital Sorry, I got uncomfortable. But if my hospital offered that, I definitely would have done the residency program, because that's another way for you to like work on your skills actually in the hospital setting. Like, not in a simulation lab, not back at the school. Like, you're actually in the hospital, hands on. Like, I definitely feel like that would help as well. Like, if your hospital has a residency program. But like I said, mine didn't, so I just did what I had to do. But honestly, it was a blur. Like, I wish there's more I could tell y'all, but I honestly, like I said, I just did it. Like, you just do it. And it's like, once you transition, you'll just be like, wow, like, that's crazy. Like I said, it was tough. That's literally the main thing I remember. Like, it was tough. I had imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. I had doubts, like, especially with my ICU setting. Maybe like 6 months in, I was like, oh my God, like, should I change my specialty? Like, I don't know if I like this. But then I grew to love it. Like, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Like, if it's not anything like ICU or like a step down from ICU, then I probably wouldn't. Cause ER, you gotta be strong for ER. I'm not strong. I'm not strong. They just, you never know in the ER. You just, here, you just never know. You just never know. I'm not strong enough for it. Med surg, like I said, the ratios. L&D, I don't want to see nobody cat. I don't want to see nobody's stomach getting cut. I don't want to do no. I don't want to hold nobody baby. I don't want to do it. I'm scared. So it's like, ICU, that's just for me. Peds, I thought about peds before. I feel like maybe peds would be something I would do, but not pediatric ICU. I feel like I would be sad all the time. But maybe something like, I don't know, giving kids shots or something, I'll do that. But I don't know. Like I said, ICU is definitely for me. But like I said, as I was transitioning from student nurse to registered nurse, I definitely was second guessing. I was like, do I want to do ICU? I literally thought about labor and delivery, knowing I don't want to do labor. I don't want to do labor and delivery. I do not want to do. I don't want to do it. Also, another thing, as I transitioned over from a student nurse to a registered nurse, I just felt like, I was like, I feel like it's something I should be studying for. Like, I feel like I have a test coming up, which I didn't. But I actually went ahead and took the step to go ahead and study for my critical care registered nursing test. And so I went and took that, obtained that. So now I have another credential on my name. Because like I said, once you get out of nursing school, you just feel like, oh my God, I should be studying, I should be studying, I should be doing something. And like, once I was transitioning, I was like, I wonder if it's something like, I don't know, it just crossed my mind, like if it's like different, like other kind of certifications. Because I don't like, as a student nurse, I didn't know anything about different certifications you could get. But now that I'm in the field, like, you have the critical care, you got the trauma nurse, you got, I think it's even one for, dang it, I can't think of it. It's like the CCRN, but it starts with a P or something. It's something. I'm not sure. But that's another thing. When you're transitioning into your role, you can also like research different certifications if you feel like, oh, you know, I should still be studying something, I should still be doing something, I should still be learning something. Even though you're learning on the unit, like I said, you can also study, get other certifications, because now your girl is Lyllian, BSN, RN, CCRN. Okay, long. Because I don't want the simple life, it's a